Okay, so here goes. I wrote some things down and I wanted to reach out to you. Thank you for clicking on this video. So for the next 2-3 minutes of your time, I have some things I wanted to get off my chest, something that I feel called to do and share with people that are within my network. So especially the women. So what I'm been writing down or what I've been reflecting on is like something about the fall season makes me think about two things. One, it makes me think about how fast the year is going by and how it's already like Christmas. Christmas is at the end of next month. And another thing that it also makes me think about is how I feel like there's a shortcoming, like something that I have not quite reached yet in the things that I declared in January that I wanted to reach. And I found out what was holding me back. And I want to share that with you because sharing is caring, but also providing value in people's lives that matter to you is how we grow together. So the biggest thing that I felt that was holding me back and keeping me at a steady pace, and what I mean is that we all have these dreams and these aspirations of where we're trying to be, but it's something that's missing. And I figured out what that was and why it's missing. And what it is that I accepted like trying to make sense of my story. When people ask you, what do? You often say something that makes sense. And every time I would say something to people, they'll go, oh, that makes sense. Oh, oh gosh, that's really great. I hope you get it. And what I was really doing was crafting it to make sense to them. But when actually in my heart, I wanted to say what I truly felt. I wanted to say like these big things that I see for myself and I see myself reaching, but I did not do it because I knew it would not make sense to them. And doing that and talking about what I want to do in life to with others and saying, this is what I want to do. This is what I desire for myself. It left me feeling at the end of the year, near the end of the year, specifically this time frame where I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have not reached my goals. I feel like I keep falling short and it seems like next year's resolutions or next year declarations are similar because I still haven't quite reached it. And it's because I was making sure that what I was wanting for my life to make sense to others. And that right there was holding me back because as I was speaking these things out, remember speaking and saying like the things that we say we want for our lives has power. And so that right there, speaking about it. And if I'm crafting it to make sense, I'm leaving things out. And that's what I would do. I would leave things out or I would shorten or lower the quantity or lower the impact of what I was seeking for myself. And even though it still was okay, it wasn't what I felt in my heart that I needed to reach. And that is what was holding me back and what has held me back before. But now, like over the past few weeks, I was like, I can't do another year like this where I feel like I'm not quite hitting it or I'm feeling a little short on the goals. And I asked for the revelation, like, God, show me what is it that I'm doing? And it was like, oh, you're trying to make sure that everyone gets what you're trying to do. You're trying to make so much sense of it to the world. And, that's exactly what I've been doing. And I have decided to release that. And that's what I want to share with you is whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you desire for yourself, like, do it. Like, don't hold back on what you want for your life. And we do that so much to ourselves. We want to make sense of everything. We want to fit. It's not even like we're trying to fit in a box, but we have so many labels from an earthly standpoint that people put on our lives. Society has defined this path that we should take as what the definition of success is. And it's doing nothing but chipping away at the things that speak to our hearts. So therefore, every year, at the end of the year, we feel like we're falling short because we're so busy trying to make sense of our goals that what we're doing is we're speaking out shortcomings already. And when we hit, even if we did hit those things that we say to people, we're going to always feel short because we're not doing what we are divinely called to do or what we feel like to our hearts that we want to say to others. And so the thing that I want to say to you is make sure I'm writing it down so I can stay on course, is that making sure that what you want for your life makes sense to others, meaning people whose opinion don't matter. Like you have to have, like, don't have a whole list of people, like everybody, it has to matter to them. No, it's very few people. If you start really honing in, like these few people, that's whose opinion matters. Like for me, it's my kids. I put my kids, my husband. That's it. That's it. Outside of that, if you like it, that's good. If you don't like it, it doesn't have to make sense. But before, my list was even longer of people that had an influence to a effect to where I would limit what I said to them. And what happened is me limiting what I said to them was limiting what I thought I could reach myself. So I just stopped disclosing my goals and telling everyone everything. It was like, I'm very careful in who I speak to. Now, I do speak to people outside of my household of what I want, but I'm very careful of who I speak to. And we often tell the people who are always going to have some type of recommendation for us to change it that are not a reputable source. So keep that in mind. So let me get back on topic. But so I understand the years after doing this that you can't make sense of a divine calling to society. That's number one. If you feel like you can't tell them what you truly want to do, just don't tell them. It's not saying to be rude, but it's like you have to protect you. It has to make sense to you more than it makes sense to other people. And if you feel like you have to shorten your story or craft your story in a way where it makes sense to other people, then that means that's a person that you shouldn't tell. Like, you don't have to disclose it. They're only asking things. You can talk about my kids, you can say, oh, wow, you need support in this standpoint, or you need support in that standpoint. And we'll get to that later. But what I really want to focus on is just letting you know, whatever it is that speaks to your heart, be comfortable in saying that's what you want to do. And without it making sense to others. And so what I want to offer you is, what I want to ask you is, what do you want to do? What speaks to you? Write it down freely, like without any constraints. And some people can't answer that question fully now, which is okay. Some people can't answer that question fully now, but we'll get there. And that's what I want to offer you. So I'm going to host a group coaching session. And this session is more of like a group clarity call where we're just going to talk about, like, this is where I'm at in life. This is what I really want to do. And we're just going to craft out what that looks like for us as a whole. Like, what does that look like for you? What does a life that you desire look like for you without any constraints? And then we're going to learn how to define our values and making sure that the things that we do align with that. So in this group coaching call, it's happening, or I want to say a clarity call. It came on my chest. I haven't even defined a title for it. I just wanted to reach out to people in my network and go from there. And for me, the session will be this Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30. And it will be $30 to participate. And in exchange, you will get a digital workbook that you can print out that can help guide you through what we're going to discuss, as well as get you in a place that you can start being more comfortable in making crafting a story that makes sense for you, or learning how to get obvious signs, learning how to get into a direction to where you are constraint free in your thinking. So if you are interested, which I hope you are, the group coaching call will be from 9:30 to 10:30. If you aren't able to make it, you can pay and receive the recorded version. And what I would do is send you the digital workbook as well. And the payment is to pay. You can pay cash out with Hi Dominique. That's HIDOMONIQUE with a $ in the front. And that's for Cash App. And the reason why I Cash App, because everything else puts fees on it. And I didn't want to add fees to like how you pay. But if you prefer to pay PayPal, I can also give you that link as well. Just let me know. But I definitely, I'm just at a point now where I'm like, I can't keep trying to make my story to make sense to other people. I can't keep doing that because it limits what I know my potential is and what God has already spoke on my heart. So why sit there and try to limit it for somebody else when in actuality, us living our full lives is what opens the door for other people to realize their full lives as well, no matter what. So I hope to see you, it'll be virtual. So I hope to see you Wednesday or see you or hear you on the call on Wednesday. I hope you can join me. And that's all I have. You guys have a blessed day. You have a blessed day. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Bye.